I found the most overpowered way to stun lock any religious person. Before you ask this simple question, you have to establish some things because they will try to run and you can't let them. First, you ask them, do you speak for God in any way? And they will answer, no, because they don't. Then you ask them, can God change his mind? For example, could God say intercourse before marriage is now okay? And they will say yes, because God does what he wants. Now you just do the flight emote like this and then ask them the question. If God asked you to unalive your family, would you do it? You are going to see the most insane responses you have.
If God asked me to unalive my whole family, would I do it? The quick answer is like no, because I would just be like, man, that's Satan. That's an angel of light, appearing to me as an angel of light, telling me to do these things. But even if I took your example and somehow it was the true God that said, okay, time to unalive your family, and then I went like Itachi Uchiha going through the house and like, yeah, God just told me, you got to take out your whole family. And then I'm going out, taking out my whole family, and I'm about to swing the sword on my dad's head. And then God's like, stop, because we already have an example of this in the Bible, right? Abraham and Isaac, right? Everyone around in the surrounding nations were doing child sacrifice. They were unaliving their children for their deities, for Baal and Baal and all these different gods, false gods. In Christianity, we know they're demons masquerading as gods to the nation to have them sacrifice their children to them. But God in the Bible is very against this. But almost as a test to say, do you love me as much as these other pagans love their God? Would you do the ultimate thing and sacrifice your kid? And Abraham thinking in himself, hey, this is the promised kid that you promised me that like my lineage would go through. So how can I unalive him and that promise still be true? Abraham thinking in himself said, well, you know what? If God's powerful enough to give me a son in my old age, he's powerful enough to raise my son from the dead. So even if I do unalive him, I believe God has the power to resurrect him. And just as Abraham's about to stop, I'm not like those gods. You know, it's good that you love me to the degree that these pagans love their God, and you're gonna willing to sacrifice everything for me, but I don't require your children. Okay. And every time the Israelites would sacrifice their children, what would happen to them? God would send them into slavery, into Babylon, into Assyria, to go be punished hard for doing that to their children, right? There's Bible verses on Bible verses about do not go out and sacrifice your kids. And you see the that happens for doing that. So, no, it's not a crazy scenario. I actually like it because